Hi, I'm Daniel Tanner. I'm a hairdresser here in Hollywood, California, and I want to give you some advice on blow drying hair and the basics of the blow dryer and round brush tools and so forth. First of all is your blow dryer. You must buy a high wattage blow dryer. This one's 1,875 watts. Should I get the metal round ones that look kind of like pipe cleaners, or should I get the boar's bristle ones? Now, my advice on this is basically boar's hair bristle is generally thought to be top of the line. I would say that if you buy a good boar's hair bristle, it's top of the line. The bristles have to be moderately stiff. Most bristles I find are a little bit too soft and they don't really pull the hair as much as I'd like. So you get a good quality round brush. Make sure the bristles are stiff enough that you can actually smooth your hair with it. Because that's really the only reason you're using a bristle brush, is for its smoothing action. It makes the hair very shiny. There's more bristles to rub against the hair shaft, which closes the cuticle or smooths down the cuticle. And you can think of it as buffing your hair like you would buff your car with wax. And the product would be the wax, and the brush would be the sheepskin cloth or whatever it is that you use when you buff a car. So if you want shiny hair with a little bit of shape or roundness to it, I would definitely suggest using a boar's bristle round brush, and don't go too cheap on them. Buy a nice stiff bristle, good quality round brush. It'll make your job a lot easier. Definitely. Like I said, the main reason though is because the more little teeth coming out of the boar's bristle, the more little bristles, the more it's going to smooth down the cuticle. You're literally smoothing your hair. Now, if I said that's the best, why would we ever use one of these? Well, this has a metal barrel to it. Below these prickly things, which are not boar's bristle by the way, there's a metal barrel. And this metal barrel is hollow and allows the air to travel through it and take the moisture away from the hair. I often use this brush because I'm usually trying to get fullness and a certain amount of bend in the hair. If you're trying to shape your hair, you're trying to curl it, trying to create almost a hot roller effect to your hair, then I suggest that one of these might be your tool of choice. It won't smooth your hair and make it quite as shiny as the boar's bristle, but it will shape your hair. It'll give you a very strong flip. It'll give you a really strong underturn if you do it correctly. You're basically turning it into a form of curling iron. You're heating up the barrel. You're turning it. You're smoothing out the cuticle the same as you do with the boar's bristle, but there's less bristles coming in contact with the hair. So it's more the hot base which is shaping the hair. Like I said, it's very close to a hot roller that you can physically just turn around in your hand. Not quite the smoothing tool as the boar's bristle brush, but a very nice tool to work with, and I use it often myself. So you kind of have to think of what your main problem is. Do you want to smooth the hair, make it shiny, or do you want to shape the hair? You can of course do both. If you get the boar's bristle hot enough, it will of course shape the hair even more, and I would suggest letting it cool off using the cold button on the blow dryer while it's inside the hair, and allowing it to cool off in that shape, and that will allow the shape to stay more. If you're using the metal barrel brush and you want to smooth the hair a little bit more, make it a little bit polished, just work the hair a little bit more, and you're going to have to work it a little bit longer than you would with the bristle, but you can eventually lay down those cuticles and get a very shiny reaction in the hair. And then again, I'd also say roll it up and hold it for a minute. Either take the blow dryer away and wait a few seconds for the hair to cool off, or you can hit it with the cool button, or do what I prefer, which I'll make a demonstration of now, is I would prefer to put a roller in the hair. I'll give you an example. Now, you want to follow the hair shaft with the blow dryer. And you want to curl the hair tight and then bring it down. and then smooth out those ends. The ends are where you're going to see the most damage, and so that's where you're going to want to smooth the most. So keep smoothing out those ends. Now start from the root again, bring the blow dryer up, don't point the blow dryer at the scalp, point the hair dryer kind of away from the scalp. It's not going to do you any good if you burn yourself or your client. And bring the blow dryer down right behind it, and then smooth those ends. Then bring the blow dryer up, slide it down, and if you really want to get some bend, you can also take the brush and twirl the hair around the brush. Hold it there and then pull it down. I generally have a habit of always twirling the hair around the brush as I bring it down. Now, what you're doing is you're going in the direction of the hair shaft with the air heat, or with the heat and the air, and what this is doing is laying down the cuticle. This continuous motion will make the hair shiny and straighten it, and at the same time give it the bend that you're trying to create, be it downwards or upwards. That people have different shapes that they like. Now, my personal favorite is after I've shaped the hair and I've got it hot, it's in the brush, and the brush is now against the scalp. It's around the brush. You can stand there for a moment and hold on to it and let it cool off. At this point you can also, take the cold button, and if you hit the brush with the cold button, still going in the same direction as the hair, the cold will harden the hair in the shape of the roller. Or what I prefer, while the hair is hot, I take the hair out, I take a roller. This one's a normal roller, not Velcro. I wrap the hair around the roller, and I take a large hot roller clip and I hold it like that. Now, if you're not good with clippies, the hot roller clips I think are the best. If you fumble a lot with your hair, you really can't miss. You just grab it, let go, and it's in. If you're a professional and you want to look like a professional hairdresser while you're working, we also have these duckbill hair clips, little metal ones. You slide that in, it'll do the same thing. It's whatever you prefer. So, if you keep the hair in this shape around this roller while it's cooling, in the next 5 or 10 minutes it will actually cool off and maintain the shape of the roller. And I guarantee you when you take it out, it'll look great. You can even put a little hairspray on it before you roll it up if you'd like. I'd probably keep the hairspray mostly at the root because the ends are going to curl regardless. The roots are what carry the weight of the hair, so they're usually the part that's the curls pulled out mostly. The ends are usually pretty light and have a flick to them no matter what you do. So, there you go. That's the basics of using a blow dryer and the blow dry brushes and what they do. Product, I didn't use any product on this doll head. A little bit of mousse, gel in the hair does work as kind of a wax on your car type of a treatment. It gives something to sleek down and keep down the cuticle. But remember that you don't want to make your hair dirty with product. It's all in the amount. I find that a lot of products do the same, but you just use different amounts. I would use a lot less gel than I would say mousse, which is an exaggeration, but you get the point. Now if you go through all your hair, or you go through someone else's hair and you blow dry and you put this little roller around while it's still warm, I guarantee you when you're done blow drying that if you start off with the first roller you put in and start taking them out and you throw their hair back, you have a beautiful, very Hollywoodish red carpet blow dry.